Pew, 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 pew. Pew? Hello. Hello. And hello. And welcome to another one line of code. I'm being silly. Hello, Deflex. Hello, Dukasoft. Do I have a bot today? What's going on? It's you, and you, and you. And also, you. Get post. And I close this. And I close this. And I click on you. I close this. What else? What else wants to be closed? I switch you over to you. And close this, close this, close this. That's on this screen. Check by email. Vapor Deb. Wait, what? Wrong screen. That's someone else's chat. I need to collapse their chat. Going over to Simple's channel to lurk. Nice view of what exactly? I feel short. I feel very short. But yeah, Dukasoft says he misses his garden. But yes, I do have a bot. That's cool. KEWWW root folder. Opening up the project, which is Financial Management Tracker. Got to write a bot for my stream. It was involved for me, but that's just because I'm not used to auth flow stuff. If you've already gotten used to it, then maybe it'll be easier for you. But I would suggest starting with someone else's bot as an example. For example, Fierce Kittens. That's where I started. Water bottles are so far away. If you're not used to it, I've got to hope it out. I mean, like, you can muddle through it. You have the ability, Deflux, to muddle through stuff and actually get to a workable solution. You've definitely proven that time and time again. Or use an awesome bot that Tyron helped write, for example. Okay, am I organized? Am I good to go now? No, I'm not. I need to add some commas to this because it's bothering me. So what I've been doing lately for my work product is we have a release that I've been talking about that we are pretty close to code complete, if not done with, if not at code complete. We're just doing some testing. Yes, of course you can. Definitely turn. Mix it up app, for example. Yeah, getting the token that you need in order to be able to write to chat. The one that I had trouble with was getting the token needed to see the redeems. But yeah, so we have a release that's coming out soon. Another update for the app, and I've been working hard on getting the narrator functionality to behave, to work the way that it's expected. I learned a ton about how narrator works and how simple it really is to just add a few ARIA tags in the appropriate places. It's not even like a massive amount. I thought it was going to be a lot more than it was, but you just use a few ARIA hiddens for stuff like icons and presentation stuff only. And then you have screen reader only, pretty much a class. So in Bootstrap, you actually have a class. It's something like anyway, there's a Bootstrap class for it where like let's say it's a label for an icon that you don't want the label to show to the end to a user that has sight, but you want it to be read by screen readers. So you just slap that class on it, and it's a visual element that is readable by readers. And that was really easy to do. But one of the funniest things that they had me do was we had the option of, well, let me get to this screen so you can see visual examples. So you know how you have built-in minimize, maximize, restore, and close buttons in your caption area for Windows desktop apps? We had to use Window Chrome to replace it, which means I had to recreate the minimize, maximize, close area. And so part of that is we don't get the standard Windows tooltip for minimize, maximize, and close and restore. And so I put the tooltip on the buttons that I recreated myself, and they work just fine. You mouse over it, give it a couple seconds, and you get the tooltip. But those tooltips are not localized, and so we were getting work items. We were getting bug reports that said the text on the control captions, I'm just going to call them what they are. The text on the control captions are not localized. And so their answer to it is because we weren't able to get the strings out for localization and we have a release coming up, they said just remove the tooltips. And it's like, that's probably like one of the number one UX things not to do, which is to remove tooltips on the control captions. But we did. And so our next round of accessibility testing for the Microsoft Store came back and said, well, you don't have, or you have generic non-actionable, what is it? Oh, just generically named. I wonder what the X is for. But I mean, if you're visually impaired, you're not going to know that you are in the title bar and you're navigating over minimize, maximize, and close. So I'm like, I don't agree with removing it, but it's what my project manager said, and I'm just going with it. So I went with it. We got dinged for it, and yeah. But the other thing that I've been doing, which is kind of fun, by the way, is mocking up a lot of my UI. So I have the actual dev version running, and I'm mocking up the UI so that it is at a certain state, so that I can take screenshots for our specs, our internal specs. And the problem is that the way that we do our spec is we have one screen per skin per theme, and we have two skins, two modes, a light mode and a dark mode, and then an extra theme. And so it's pretty much six, five, one, two, three, four, five pictures per thing. I don't know what else to call it. So that's not fun. But it's still pretty fun just taking the pictures and then telling this thing um, that I want it to do X, Y, and Z. I want it to look like this because I said so, and I have control over it, and I love control. Right? Is that how it goes? Wait. Oh, actually, that would be done. And let's give it a pass of good, new good to stream. I don't need to do those. Save. Okay, so I just mocked up a whole bunch of stuff. Now back to you guys. Hello, welcome to Monday. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. I have been keeping myself extremely busy, and things are picked up again a little bit. The release, surprisingly, is not causing that much stress. I really feel like we've been on top of the bugs that have been reported to us, and I've been able to keep up with my workload and exceed it at that. But there are some non-work related things that are going on currently that we're all going to learn about one day or another. Welcome in Monday. Feel free to join our Discord. Nice. Very good, Dugasoft. Awesomely awesome. But what we have been working on in this stream is a project management application. Sorry, what I meant to say was financial management. Oh my gosh, I'm so thinking about project management right now. I have so much to do. Dukabot is body. Heck yeah. But only the best bot ever. Best non-bot bot. So long story short, used to have a job where I was able to stream all day long and stream my actual work. So you got to see a real developer doing real work for a real company. And it was a real world product. And it was in Blazor. Then I got a new job where I wasn't able to do anything publicly. I'm barely able to say that I work for Sagetti, and now that I'm mentioning it, I would like you to know that my views and opinions that I express on this channel are my own and not necessarily the views and opinions of Sagetti. Sagetti is what I said. So since I am working for a consulting firm, I am not able to share who my client is, what the type of project it is, too many details about it that would give it all away and all that fun stuff. But it is a desktop app where I'm able to use Blazor for the UI, so that's been a ton of fun. Oh, it's so nice. And MojoBot is here. Did you actually bot for me again? He botted for me again. He did not bot for me. Okay. Oh, wait, yes he did. A little laggy. No worries. Swaymore says hello to everyone. Having streaming location issues? Hoping to stream again? Well, I'm gonna write back to him. Looking forward to it. Hi Mojobot, welcome in. Hi Dukabot. Man, these AIs are so flippin' intelligent. Look at them go, communicating with each other. Swingware. Deflux posted a few pictures, probably because he was watching someone else's stream, and was no, that was when we were talking on Friday. Never mind, that was from Friday. Hello, Vincent. Welcome back in. Happy Monday to you. I'm catching up on Discord because I didn't open it all weekend, not even this morning. Oh, well, yeah, you know that you're always welcome to use our Discord. Our Discord, which means it's also yours. But I appreciate you trying to keep it clutter-free. So, with the whole work situation, what I decided to do for the stream is work on a stream project that is open source, and you can find that project on our GitHub, on my GitHub, I guess, which is github.com/1111 1 lion. And you'll find it in the financial management hour. That is correct, Ubisoft. So this is the project where we are doing the full stack development experience, where you get to see the whole process from beginning to end. All of the videos are posted on the YouTubes, and from the beginning of the project, there are a couple that I missed because of technical issues and just me forgetting to do stuff like turn on the right audio outputs. Excuse me. But we have been working on this 2 hours at a time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with some missed days and some days where we're actually only doing about 15 minutes of work on it because I use a lot of words. But we have managed to get a lot done. So let me show you what the current status of the application is. We are currently in the main branch. CD Finan Wasm server .NET Watch. And I like using .NET Watch for those of you that are curious because it works much better with hot reload in my opinion. You don't get dialog boxes that pop up and say, you have an error in your code. Do you want to edit or stop? It's like I was gonna fix that error because I needed to make a change in another. So anyway, it works much more silently down here. You just get the one question unless you manually push yes and no to each of them. So this is our application. Login doesn't actually work, but it's the thing that lets us know when the WebAssembly part is loaded. For the other flavors of Blazor, this thing pretty much comes up instantly. But on Wasm, we have to wait for the .NET runtime to start up. And if you haven't been to the site, then it needs to download first. But then the .NET runtime starts up, and then the application is fed through that .NET runtime and then presented to the user. The financial management app is a simple app currently where we are going to manually be tracking transactions. We're entering them ourselves, and when I say transactions, I mean financial transactions, like you buy stuff from a vendor, like a grocery store, fast food, etc. And also track money coming into your accounts and then track money going between your accounts that you set up yourself. So we have the ability to enter transactions, to see all of your transactions, sort them, filter them by account type, which shows up in the sidebar, mark as pending or give it a posted date to show that it's not pending. When it is pending, it is displayed here with parentheses for pending amounts. Otherwise, it is shown without pending amounts, and the adjusted balance is how much money is in or used in that account, plus pending. ¿Qué más? We have some items in our dropdowns. Good for us. We set up a database for these. Set up a database for these. We set up a way to clear sorting from here. We are farmers. Yeah, I guess those are all of the features that we have so far, which is still, I mean, like in my opinion, for not really doing as much per stream, it's still a long ways. So we do have a couple of other issues that are in here. And so my favorite one that I want to work on is the ability to edit currently entered transaction records. So we'll be playing with this transaction history thing, grid, and we will have some kind of edit button where we can either edit in line or most likely have a modal that pops up for us to edit the the transaction, depending on the type that it is. We'll reuse the same transaction entry form. We'll just pre-populate it with all of the information that we have for that transaction. And there you go. Questions, answers, statements. And my mind is somewhere else right now, which is why I'm kind of trailing. So I apologize if that's distracting. But we're still going to have fun because it's code, it's software. Okay, so first thing that we need to do is actually grab the issue. So I'm going to set it to in progress. We're going to create a branch for this. We're going to create a branch for this issue. Nice. Nice. I'm going to call it implement edit transaction functionality because add edit sounds kind of weird. He's a weird kid. And then I will check it out in my branch. I mean, in Visual Studio. I have changes currently. What changes? I cleaned up a file. We'll bring those changes with us. So I just did a pull so that I can see the new remote branch. Why are all of these remote branches still showing up when I delete them every time I merge a change? Let me just verify that they actually are. How do I get to branches? You have to run a comment. But I mean, they should have disappeared by now because of how many times I've done PRs and pulled branches and such. But yeah, we should have only 3 total active branches. We have the main default branch and then 2 other branches. So I'm keeping this one active because I want to be able to revisit this issue. And then the rest of the branches are deleted. Yeah, weird. Soviet. Those are local. Yeah, local branches I'm fine with. Let's find out what you don't like about this. Oh, because we were talking about concurrent. Yeah, we only want that one. Yeah, okay. And then we unstage. Cool. No worries, no worries. So like my local branches are fine. They are nice and clean. My remotes shows everything including my deleted branches, which is just odd to me. Like I'm pretty sure I don't see that in my work product. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You can still search. You can filter. I'm okay with that. Okay, so what we are going to do in today's stream is implement the edit functionality for our existing transactions. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Sounds fun to me. So we'll be working with the transaction history grid and the transaction history row. That does not have a code behind, but it does have a base transaction row that serves as the code behind for it. Hello, Tyndall. We're like only 1 line. Doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well as well. I did find out some bad news this weekend. My parents got COVID, which which is really scary because health issues. And all because my dad was just being good, was trying to be good, I should say, trying to do the right things and do good things. But yeah, they are okay from what they've told me so far. Me too. Me too. And thank you so much for the positive vibes, for the good hopes, for the energies, and the love. Okay. Um, so we need to modify each of our transaction rows to have edit and delete. So when I say edit, I also mean removing transactions, which means soft delete, marking them as deleted, not actually removing them from the database. May they be touched by his noodly appendages. And that's kind of funny because I'm watching Simple Game Dev, who has noodly appendage monsters in his game. That sounds like an anime gone bad, though. What? Ramen. Anyway, there's a few ways that we can implement this. We can have a control buttons kind of thing. So we definitely have room for an edit. And what I plan on doing is for our mobile view, all of these will be cards essentially that are summarizing the information. So we'll have a transaction date and then a posted date um, on top of each other, and then maybe the account and maybe um, the account that was used, and then the payee underneath it, and then the total amount, and yeah. So we're going to change that. So when we have it in this view, we're going to be able to tap on the. That's really weird. Wow, why is the anyway? Not thinking about that. We're going to be able to select anywhere in the card, and it will pop up with the dialogue that allows us to edit or soft delete. Get remote prune origin. What does get remote prune origin do? Internet webs. Deletes all the unreachable objects from the remote repository, but it doesn't fetch them. Let's try it. Right to click, open in File Explorer. Do 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 do. Did you like my song? Because I didn't. Right click, open PowerShell. It should be too far down. We need to go up two. And this has our Git folder. Okay, Git remote prune origin. Survey says, yes. Thank you, Dickasoft. Oh wait, exploitation. That's so nice. That oh, it feels so clean. Feels so clean. Oh, do you like this the AI generated image that I put up there for today? I like it. It's a light bulb. Nixwu. Is that another way to say no? It looks like chat is full of ideas. Absolutely. And you have proven that. Aw, no star. Where even am I? What day is it? Okay. So yes, for the desktop, Friday. Absolutely. For the desktop version, however, I think we can do with having a minimize max, not minimize, a control buttons column. Or, or does it seem intuitive? I don't think it is. Like, even if I styled it like this, where a row, for example, has cursor pointer, indicating that you can click on it, as well as um, a rule for TR hover. Yeah, I don't need this open. Background. Hello, can I get some help? No? Okay, RGBA 0001. Uh M. Get some help. Maybe 255 for dark modes. Okay, so we could have it to where as you hover over a row, then you'll get the background hover color, and then the mouse pointer turns into you can click here for a thing to happen. But does that really seem intuitive enough to let us know that the way that you edit an existing transaction record is by clicking on it? I don't think so. I don't like that. Another alternative is we could have a column that only displays when you hover over a row. But once again, without it showing all the time, you don't know that you can interact with this. So if you're one of those amazing super users that only ever enters transactions and doesn't even work with the table down here, then you won't know that you can edit records unless you actually saw the thing, saw something. So yeah, I think I am going to go with a new column with control buttons. Don't at me. Ooh, something else. Oh, I already talked about that. But I was going to say something else that I learned about accessibility is sometimes it's good to have a row annotated as a column, a cell annotated as a row header, or for accessibility purposes. Like if you can identify the row based off of one of the values in the cells, then use that as a th, and then uh, give it a span. Is that what it's called? Give it a thing of row. You know, the thing. Yeah, scope. That's what I said. Give it a scope of row. Always. Okay, so we're going to have some buttons in here. Those buttons are going to be icons essentially. Hey. Do we have a delete? We have a delete. Oh, not button danger. Text danger. And I like using eyes for my icons. You can use span. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think I actually have a BTN link class. I like using similar classes to Bootstrap. Bootstrap. But that also means that we need to add a column to our grid. So since I am changing this often-ish, I'm going to go ahead and introduce a private read-only field. Actually, private const int. And I'm going to call it call count. Make it 7 because that's currently how many columns I have in my table. And everywhere that I have call span equals 6 will be call span equals at call count underscore call count. And that way I just update it in one place. Then finale, we have our table header, column headers. Oh, I wouldn't say exactly, but yes, same concept. H, scope, call, not sortable, and what did I say I was going to call it? Oh, we're using localization stuff. But yeah, you can either do for Razor or for Blazor components, you can either do the square bracket inject attribute on the thing that you want injected, or you can use the at inject directive to achieve the same thing. Oh yeah, now that you say that, Thindle, I may receive a call during the stream. If so, I need to answer it, and I may be on the phone for, I have no idea. Hang up and answer, Dukasoft. Wait, what? Overall, I am, again, still pretty stressed. So I had a good end of the week last week, and it was a good weekend, but I have a lot of anxiety over pending situations, but I am managing it well. It is eustress. So it is quite bearable and I think beneficial in the long run. The healthy kind of stress. Nathaniel says he's doing all right. Had a bit of a poop day work-wise, but doing all right at least. At least you don't have to worry with WordPress. This is true. This is very true. And I am grateful. Localizations. We have a library that we're using for all of our localizations so that it can be shared with other projects if needed. And so we are going to add a new entry called control button header, column header, column header. Which actually, now that I think of it, you don't normally have you don't normally have a header text inside of your control buttons. The thing that I need for this is my accessibility header. So yeah, we still need that. So we'll go ahead and send control buttons to our localization team so that this can also be localized in 18 languages. And so we will use the technique that I told you, which is to have something like a span class screen reader only. I just need to remember what the normal rule is for it. And then I'm going to put a non-breaking space inside of it so that we have something that makes it show up. You reverse scaffolded? So Dukasoft is talking about using something like EF Core Power Tools to reverse engineer an existing database. I think that's what he's talking about, and he did that in Visual Studio to see the classes that would get generated to represent the entities and the DB context. And it's not only one hands in hair, can't believe what's going on. It's three of them. Good luck and have fun working with WordPress databases. They're horrible. I think that's what GLHF stands for. You kids and all of your fancy lingo, and it's because I didn't save. Okay, we don't have a handle edit clicked, and we don't have a handle delete clicked, but we will shortly. Okay, so we now have a column that will be our control buttons column, which we can't build yet until we fix the issue with this. We have our base transaction row. We have our base transaction code behind. We need 2 new methods. Pasta, private task, return task completed task. Cool. Okay, so we should be building now. Unless there is still a thing that I saved. There it goes. And then we should see the column show up now. I like how it was using Unicode characters for the delete and edit. Okay, so 3 things. We don't have, oh yeah, my bad. We don't have the classes that I need to style these link buttons. At least I don't think we do. We might. I might have called it something different. And we don't have the class needed to hide the column header or anything that I call screen reader only. And that was here. And you should actually be the localizer, shared localizer dot. Nope, that's not how I do localizations. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Not too long ago, we made a branch and a PR that removes our magic strings from our localizations. I thought it would be more fun. Wait, did I miss a thing? No. Okay. Spanity is one of those awesome things that I never quite know when they fit in my code. True. I agree. I know span of T is very um, optimized and fast and such. Just not exactly sure when to use it myself. But I'm sure if I needed to, I could look it up and learn very quickly. Okay, so then Dukasov said, thought it would be more fun to write an app to push 1,500 plus products into the DB rather than doing it manually one at a time. And boy, was I wrong. That's kind of funny that trying to automate a process is harder than just like a process that is reasonably tedious and would take a long time if you did it manually. Trying to automate it takes more time than it would if you just manually did it. Because 1,500 plus records is a lot to manually enter into a database. Unless are all of your products in a spreadsheet? Because you can use a formula to write your insert into, and then just copy pasted that into your database tool. Did that crawl the web, created WordPress posts. It was horrible. I apologize for any inconvenience it may have caused you. Okay, I'm scared. I don't know where our our functionality went for our localizer service. Hold on. Yeah, so what's supposed to happen is we're supposed to get all of our shared our localized strings as static strings for free because we made I can't show it to you. We made a PR and branch that turns on the code generation for localized strings. Right here, it was merged 3 weeks ago. Okay, let's just see if we can at least do this. And then we updated all of them to replace them. What's the what that is whatting what? I'm so lost now. We're looking for the grid. We're looking for this thingy here. Yeah, we're not getting that. So can you tell me what changes we made to do this? Our number 24 is merged. 2 commits. How did this get undone? Yeah, because look at this. That's a lot of changes. So what I think I want to do is cherry pick that branch, which is 18, remove magic strings, which I won't be able to do unless I so it doesn't actually retain my branches the way that I thought it was supposed to. And thank you so much for the follow, Verbatim Studios. Welcome into the one line of code. We are currently working through an open source project together where we are doing financial management tracking. Yeah, I just wanted to hide it from my list of things, but I just wanted it to be marked as deleted, not actually delete them. Ah, how's that? Okay, does it still show up in my Git history though? It does. And if we look at merge, it was 3 weeks ago. I'm not even seeing it. So you say you merged it. Wait a minute. Oh, here it is. You say you merged it, but where did you merge it to? Merged into main 3 weeks ago. Am I going crazy? Deflex is asking a question. He said I kind of asked this in Discord. Is there a setting or a way to make a HTTP endpoint to be able to take on another request before the previous one is complete? I mean, isn't that what they do? So are you talking about an API, or are you talking about something that serves a page, something that serves HTML content? Okay, so an API. And is it a .NET API? Is it a function? Is it a trigger? Okay, it's a .NET API. It doesn't make sense for an API function to block other requests coming in unless you're using your semaphore. So your semaphore approach would definitely block anything else from completing. So what I mean to say is your HTTP request should come through and start processing as soon as it's made. They should not be queued. So for example, here in my API, if I had 10 different computers calling my accounts controller get account list or get accounts list here, then all of them should come in and process concurrently up to the max number of concurrent connections. I'd be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. The thing that I'm most wrong about is why don't I have this change? Um, can I actually restore? I can. I can restore the branch, which means that I can do a, let's just hop back over to, let's stop the app from running. Local commit for setup control buttons column. And I may as well go ahead and add the shared localizer. And I think the name of that was control button column header. Did I make it plural? Control buttons column header. Control button. I'm going to make it plural. Plural. And yeah. Transaction history rows. Grid. Okay, commit local. Every time I go to run this project for work, it opens a new Chrome window. To be expected, but, and there are many big ones. When I move the tab to my current Chrome, it stops the project. I've had that happen before. Yes. The end. I just know that it's a thing that has happened to me before. So what Mojo is talking about is he has his app running from Visual Studio. He has another window and he's moving the tab from that one. Well, I'm assuming it just happens as soon as you start moving it anyway. So as soon as he starts moving it out of whatever tab, it goes kapow. App over. Yes, I do remember that happening to me a lot a long time ago. I don't remember what the circumstances were. It would have had to have been an MVC application and probably running the app with the debugger attached. Just changed a lot of browser privacy settings. Well, the thing that I don't know is what happened to my magic strings. Yeah, look at this. I even have a stash for my magic strings. I have two stashes for my magic strings. I am absolutely baffled. I do not know. All right, take me back to main. Full latest. This is no longer a thing. Repository is already up to date. I should now see 18. And in 18, for example, for a transaction history grid, yeah. So what happened between this branch and my current version of master, of main, that caused it to revert the changes from this branch? You there. Did I somehow branch off of the WPF branch? I don't think I branched this one off of main. You know, okay. Well, that's good to know. So, if you recall, I created this branch from um, here, from this button down, 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 baby, down, roller coaster, sweet, sweet baby, mama never let you go. From the issue. And this is where I created the branch. Apparently, I didn't pick main. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why this thing didn't give me latest main. So maybe here's what I'm going to do instead of detaching. Let's go ahead and check out the branch that we were in. And I don't really know how to do this through command line, so I apologize for offending all of you who hate using UI to accomplish tasks. But what I'm going to do is hop into, I don't have it in here, so let's go ahead and find it. I am going to update this branch from main. And I'm going to have some conflicts. Of course, I'm going to have some conflicts. Yes. Good. Good. I'm going to need this. Great. Now I'm going to confuse myself with this one. Okay. Closing TR. And then we will change this to no transactions message. Wait, it's down here. Huh? How do I have a dot no transaction? Okay, get rid of this. You go away. Like, does this one have buttons for take theirs, keep ours? Instead of me manually deleting? No. Okay. I love that it acts like all of this changed, but it didn't. Wait, the thing that changed is there's a switch statement around it. What? Anyway, we want everything from main. That's all I care about. Except for this thing here. That one we want to keep from the changes we just made. Everything from main, please. Main. That's the only one. It's a wonderful thing about Tigers. Keep. Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to assume we don't need system.text.json. Yeah. Okay. Now what do you say? Yay! I thought I lost you. Okay, so now we should have this available to us from shared localizer service. And we do. That also means that we need you and you. May as well add those now. Oops. And so that will allow us to use our localization dictionaries. Those, and I kind of remember seeing at least one more in here. So this is, I think I'm using this as kind of a debug. Not really using that. This is a class. Ah, here they are. Sort ascending, sort descending, sort words. Sort ascending, sort descending, and clear sort. You can go away now. Thank you. You were helpful. And pasta. Okay. And then we get rid of some spaces. And now we can use immediately the control V U delete. And there we go. No more hard coded strings. At least there. And what about in a row? In a row, William has nada. We're good to go. Oh, right. It's you that I wanted to update. So text danger and text warning. So I like these to be orange for the edit and red for the delete. And we also should have a label on them. What do you think that, Mr. Fahrenheit? If you want to make a claim, then I'm willing to discuss it with you. Our label is going to be edit. Do I have these in my resources folder already? Do I have an edit? And I don't. So edit and delete we're going to add to our dictionary. But yeah, it is kind of rude of you to come into a stream and that's the first thing you say when it's a Blazor stream and you're not discussing. But yeah, definitely feel free to give us your opinion on why you think that. Substantiate it. Otherwise, not helpful. Not helpful at all. In that case, you could just flush and move on. So I can definitely agree with you to some degree that there are things about Blazor that are not the best. But as far as the developer experience, as far as being able to create fantastic web applications that are highly functional, highly interactive, I absolutely love Blazor for that. How about Blazor is the shit? I mean, that works for me. But yeah, there are definitely complaints that I can have about Blazor. But again, willing to discuss if you are. Hello, fake ETF. Fake ETF. Anyway, hi, Fakey. Welcome. We are in the middle of working on our Stream project, which is the financial management tracking application. You can find it on our GitHub page at github.com/11lion. It's the financial management repository. And this is just for showing full stack Blazor web development beginning to end. And we just have fun. We have lots and lots and lots of fun. Shared localizer service dot, and then we have edit and del taco. Okay, so we're using these for our, actually these go on the button, dang it. We're using these for our accessibility labels. So I really should be more focused on doing that right off the bat. Like I'm definitely doing the localization. Excuse me. But I have not been adding ARIA labels everywhere that I should be. So for example, these are presentation only, the edit button and the edit icon and the delete icon. So I should use ARIA hidden for them. Oops. It is. Because I don't want a screen reader to read off generic icon name. And since it's the button has the label on it, then those should be good. This is also a button, which I don't think you need to actually put roll button on buttons. It's more when you're using anchors as buttons. But you know what? I wonder if I can tell my narrator to give you guys a panic attack, which I don't really want to give you a panic attack. Yep, for now. Yay, story time. Mixer. I'm not going to be able to do stuff with the mouse. Would you recommend WPF or Windows Forms? So I really don't like XAML. I am a lot more used to WinForms, but for my work product at my current job, it's a WPF application that uses a Blazor WebView control, and it has also some WPF stuff um, inside of it. So we have some WPF windows and some. Just about the entire UI is a Blazor WebView control. That said, I kind of started liking the way that you build the UI in WPF. I still am not a big fan of it because I don't like XAML. Yet another markup language to wait, not YAML. Another markup language that I need to learn. in order to be able to write UI when I already know WinForms. I know how to build stuff using WinForms, which is just drag and drop essentially, and some manipulation in the code behind. So I guess it depends on what you want out of your programming experience. You want ease of use for being able to just drag and drop controls and build your UI up that way, or do you want a little bit more control over how you lay things out? Because you still are pretty limited with WinForms as far as layout and responsiveness. Unless it's gotten better. The last time I used WinForms was 5 years ago, 4 years ago. 5 years ago. Yeah. Okay. My voice is going to be talked over.
Output device, Realtek volume mixer.
Why can't I?
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Financial, finite, OB, finite, settings window.
Okay, you there. Why are you being so weird, settings window?
Back, button, sound.
Did I like hit F11 or something? I don't have a
Button.
normal window for my settings. That was really weird. Okay.
Manage your financials
Here is
the
what
cool
I
way.
learned
Login,
about
username,
navigating
edit.
around a page.
Payments to space select.
There we go. Okay. So when a user would be using the narrator, they would navigate around the page using the narrator screen key or whatever it's called and arrow
banner
keys.
Landmark.
So that's how they're getting around your page, which is why if you use semantic HTML, then it'll follow the document structure a lot easier and you'll have a lot of this built-in narrator stuff. But for the times that you don't have narrator stuff,
main landmark. 1 of 3 level 1, heading level 1.
Then you get generic words like that for interactable elements. So the user doesn't know at this point that they are on an element that denotes tabs or navigation essentially. So these really should be navigation items, role navigation.
Payments, button.
And then you can see that it now jumped into the actual button itself.
1 of 3 level
really,
1, heading level 1.
This one should have just been the button directly.
Payment, 2 of 3 level 1, heading level 1.
Yeah, and so since this is a list item instead of a navigation bar, then it's going to go to the list item and then the
deposits button.
Without letting them know, okay, what does that mean that it's a deposits button?
Transfers
transfer
button.
What does that even mean? So then they go through all the fields. Input fields are pretty easy because they have labels and stuff. But when we get to something like these extra control buttons that I was working on just now. Oh, especially these. Yeah.
6 transdate / header, column 2 of 7.
So right now I'm on the transdate column header, but if I went back one,
sort ascending, sort descending, clear filter, 6 of 6 level 1, heading level
menu.
1, column 1 of 7.
As opposed to saying something like posted date, clear filter menu item is what it should say.
5 of 6 level 1, heading level 1. 6 of 6 level.
These so that we can get to an actual row.
Edit delete, blank cell, column 7 of 7.
Edit delete blank cell. It has nothing to do with this actually being the control buttons for this row to be able to
delete button.
Oh, good times. Anyway,
Vindies, row 8 of 11. Exiting narrator.
Okay. Anyway, now you guys get to hear narrator. The end. So things to keep in mind. Yay for us. I would like to edit the delete button. Edit, delete. Oh, and if you can tell, Fakey, the in summary from me is if you're doing a new or a new development project, I would recommend using WPF. But if you can't be bothered to learn XAML or don't want to create your UI using code behind, then by all means, WinForms. Like that depends, Thindle. So if you aren't actually targeting doing multi-platform targeting, maybe not. Maybe you stick with just WPF because all of your WPF stuff, well, I can't say all of it. There are some quirks that come with working with Maui when you're only using it for Windows desktop development. Yes, the potential is there to be able to do cross-platform development in one project, but sometimes the trade-off is not worth it. Especially if you don't foresee the product that you're creating being on anything other than Windows desktop. Okay. I need to style these buttons. Or I need to find out if I have a class already for these button links. Do I have buttons? Root, button foreground, hover. And yet, I do not. So let's create our button styles using Shift F2. And we're going to do buttons, SAS. And oh, did I put it in global styles maybe? I did put it in global styles. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move this into its own. Partial, SAS partial. I don't need to import root, right? Okay. Okay, so we have our button, we have a button invert, but we don't have a button just to differentiate it from Bootstrap. We're going to call it a, gosh, because I don't want to use the same CSS class. Or do I? Like, what if I decide that I just want to add Bootstrap in instead of rolling my own? Because I am kind of getting tired of maintaining my own CSS. Why not just use the CSS framework? I like that. No background, no border. It'll keep the outline when it has the focus. And then we'll use this CSS variable called link color, which I already have per fac. And I actually don't like my link color. Not gonna lie. Yeah, use it as a base. That is true. I did create a project for myself not too long ago, and I like really quickly built it up using just Blazor and Bootstrap. And I have a carousel, I have a image viewer with a whole bunch of thumbnail images that when you do flex, they wrap to the next line. And all I had to do was add CSS classes to all of my elements instead of writing CSS rules for everything individually. Thindle says, not sure if it exists for Blazor, but there's a tool for MVC that will look at your views and create a CSS file with only the parts of Bootstrap that you actually use. That's cool. That would be nice if they had it for Blazor. And then we need it in our app. Actually, I need to put buttons up before the overrides. Buttons and forms and tables and grids, and then the overrides in case these do something different with tables and grids and buttons and forms. Okay. Good to go. We have our button styles for button link, which means that these should no longer have borders. Oh, right. Except that they have the wrong CSS classes on them. Wait, no, it just didn't actually compile. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, Control Shift S. Save everything. There we go. Button is way up here. We have button link. There we go. And if I look over here, then I have the button link, which for our CSS, we don't actually need the BTN. However, what I could do in order to make sure that it does flow, we could do anything that is a BTN looks like this. Yes, lucky. And now here we go. We have our two buttons. So we also need some colors. Where did I put that last time? There is absolutely no super rush for you, Dukasoft. I'm sure it'll be around for a while. But Dukasoft said, I'm still stuck in Razor Pages land, though, slowly moving to the Blazor side. Yeah. There are a lot of transferable concepts between Razor Pages and Blazor, like having a code behind file. It's just that instead of having git and post and all of those methods, you just either use why did I choose MVC? This is no, you just either use an API endpoint to do all of your stuffs, or you do the other thing. The operations directly on the server. I told you I'm a little distracted today. Got a lot on my mind, got a lot that I need to do and get done this week. Man. People are asking. Most viewed content? MVC? MVC. Oh, well, crap. Those all get that. The thing I was looking for were my text colors, and I'm trying to decide whether to put that in a separate partial sass or just use global styles. I already have stuff specific to H1s and text sizing in general, but what would I call it? Because this will be things like primary color, secondary color, all of the standard Bootstrap classes that you get: text primary, text secondary, text warning, text danger, text muted. Would those be variables though? So my variables are all in root. My colors are all Sass colors. And then they get the different CSS variables get those Sass colors. Well, at the moment they don't. At the moment they're just hard coded. I am at root, or I am root. Sorry, I said I am at root. I am root. I'm sure it's got a name in the Bootstrap library, but I'm just gonna put it in global styles because too hard of a decision. Text danger. Text warning. Text muted. And those are going to be defined in Woot. Text danger. Warning. Custom CSS, CSS custom properties. Wait, is that the name of the file? Moose did. Are you telling me that I should just go ahead and switch to Bootstrap now? It's active tab. So yeah, that's one of the biggest issues is we didn't really come up with the final color scheme. We started coming up with some design ideas. Oh, that's CSS variables. They're called CSS custom properties. My bag. Do I actually have anything that's currently, yeah, I don't have any examples of errors. You know, we could just, yeah, on stream confirmed. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm struggling a little through it. Let's just use this color. Let's use C43A33. C43A33 for danger. Apparently I am using caps for my X colors. Warning, may as well use the same shade. So DE5B14. And muted is going to be one of these guys. So how about 777? Okay, so looking back, that means our, oh, wait, that should have immediately worked because I do have text danger and text warning on those icons. Do I not? Text warning and text danger. In my global, I said anything that has text danger has this color. Anything that has text warning has this color. Oh, did I actually call them something else? I did. There we go. And nothing. It didn't save. Danger zone. There it goes. The orange and the red look too similar, so let's go a different shade of orange for text warning. Because I like the contrast for the current color of red. Do I like the contrast? What is your contrast value? 3.86, which is not good. Let's get a brighter color of red. Going one up to D4 3F37. Oh, come on, I pushed the button. Yeah, they're definitely too close to each other. 4.41 is worse? What is the name of the score thingy that you get inside of the here? Can't think of what it's called. Yeah, this thing needs to be much brighter. Are you sure you want to edit? No, I wanted to delete. Are you sure you want to delete? I wanted to edit, you son of a... I'm not liking any of these colors for it. Let's just try this pink color, F08A7F. And while we're here, let's do the orange to this kind of yellow, F69DOA. D0A, whatever. Dead on arrival. I don't like it. Why don't you just use colors that everyone else uses? I mean, bootstrap. No, just bootstrap. Or five. Or five. Oh. No, no actual like values and stuff. I don't know. I'm not good at looking stuff up when I'm being watched. There we go. Danger is going to be this color. Warning is going to be this color. Does it change for dark theme? I know. Save. Okay, what do you say? Okay, it looks like pretty good readability. A nice bright red. It still has a warning. I wish I could see the actual accessibility score thing so that I can see what the warning is on contrast. Oh, it would be on the icon. Now give me some, nope, no information. Whatever. We'll get to it. We'll make it all amazing and stuff. But it looks good to me. It looks like pretty decent contrast visually. So let's get these spaced apart a little bit more, maybe a little bit bigger so that they're easier to click and or tap. And the way that I'm going to do that is head on over to that page specific, or that component specifically. Am I? Hello, Hellraiser. Konnichiwa. I was watching you play something. I was lurking on your stream on Friday, Saturday, Friday probably. checked out for a half second again. I'm back. Did you forget if it was Saturday? For shame. Gosh, I'm not using isolated CSS for that control now. I said control component. Pindocat. Who didn't hear somewhere? Hellraiser is saying, I need to get back on VS stuffs. Made a single WinForms. Someone was asking about WinForms apps earlier, but wanted to explore WPF. And they were also asking about WPF. I am just not the biggest fan of either of those technologies. Not gonna lie. However, what we did do for this project is we're creating all of the user interface in Blazor, but that allows you to also use the same user interface for desktop, for example, a WPF app project thing that uses exactly the same user interface. And yes, Blazor does make an exe. So this is a WPF application running the same user interface, using the same HTTP client and API backend that's not currently running, which is why it crashed. But nobody saw that. So I would have the same API on the server sitting and listening for requests, and that those requests can either come from the desktop application or the web application or the mobile application or the Tizen version. But this one is, again, Windows specific desktop application running the same project that is here running in the web. And you know it's the same because if I added a transaction here, Wosheries. Subtotal of 54.22 monetary units. And let's say that it actually posted already and I'm just entering it super late. I paid for it with my cheddar charge. Then over here, I will see that new transaction show up as well for 1/1/2023. What about Blazor is better than WPF? So being a web developer, I am used to writing HTML and Razor markup. So Razor is where you can use a mix of HTML and C# to write your user interface. So for example, here is part of a table. It is one row in a table where you can see there's a TR with TDs and then some HTML content, but then also C# that says, if this specific record that we're printing out in this row of this table has a value for posted date, then show that value. Otherwise, show the word pending, which is not localized. Pending. It's different than the pending column header. It's just the word pending. Then we have shared localizer service. Dot pending. Okay, so that's the Blazor side of things. So I'm used to writing my UI in that way, using HTML, CSS, Razor syntax, versus writing my interfaces using XAML. So for example, having a grid And let's say that I wanted inside of this grid 2 rows of stuff. Then I need grid column row definitions. And then I need to define those rows, and then I need to put content in them. And then I have this code behind where I can dynamically modify the content. I can't use like C# syntax in here to say, well, if some model value is true, then print out this control. And so it's like it's harder for me to envision what my end result UI would look like. Oh yeah, yeah. So if you're just like adding a button that you just say click that button, make it do stuff, absolutely. Any language is fine. Yeah, WinForms is old school. I mean, it's still supported ish, I think. Findle made a comment earlier that he thinks it's gone into maintenance mode. I think it was Findle that made that comment. Um, yeah, mostly JSON manipulation. Hello, peace and quiet. Anyone here think ChatGPT can teach me coding from zero to hero? Or teach me how to make a very simple app with a user interface faster plus easier than the mass confusion of Google? That's a tough one. Like for me, it really depends on learning style. I'm I'm trying to think of what it would have been like for me to start off programming when ChatGPT was a thing. Because you would still need to know what to ask ChatGPT. For example, one of the things you could ask ChatGPT would be, what is the best programming language to learn programming on? Aaron says, I'd say no because it accidentally lies. Yeah, that's a big one. So it'll give you some answers that let's say that these are the hard truth answers that it gives you, but it's wrong in some point of it, but you don't know that it's wrong because you don't know what to look for. So it'd be something more like implement a binary tree search algorithm in C++. So it's like when you're looking at this, I mean, I don't know. Again, I knew to ask for this type of question. But anyway, what you that's a lot of code for feature research. What you would do is, as a developer who's maybe trying to ask ChatGPT for some help on a specific topic that you are stuck on, you would get some code output, look at it, and actually verify that it is good code. It may end up using libraries that don't actually exist or that only exist in a different framework or exist for a completely different language. So there would be a lot more confusion when it comes to it's still going. When it comes to knowing whether the answer it's giving you is true. But stuff like, I don't know, just stuff that summarizes things for you. So, like, what is object oriented programming? And then having it teach you the fundamentals. But how do you know that that's what you need to look for? And so you maybe, and again, I'm just thinking of this as what would it be like if I were starting off and I didn't have all of these terms like oop or other terms? Like maybe the question that I would ask is, where should I get started learning to code? That's my answer. Finding learning resources. Look online for resources. I mean, I'm not paying for anything. Oh, oh. Yeah. So it's these vague answers like this, and then you would need to be asking it more questions and versus finding some maybe Twitch channel and asking the populace there, or maybe a Discord server and asking the populace there, where should I get started with programming? And then we'll be able to tell you, what would you like to do programming for? Do you want to build games? Do you want to build applications? Do you want to automate things? Do you want to do AI? Do you want to any number of things? And then depending on the language, so like this channel, I am partial to .NET development. .NET development is not the best for every single scenario, but I absolutely love using it for everything that I use it for, which is mostly web development and also desktop development. Um, so I would point you to YouTube, and then there is this great C# fundamentals 8-hour course, such as in this one, where he tells you all of the basics for learning C# in one place. And I think he goes at a good pace. I think it's great for learning object-oriented programming, fundamentals, and then a little bit more about C# specifically. But if you learn C#, you can also learn Java. There are similarities, transferable knowledge. Yeah, yeah, and definitely let us know, because I do recommend this video a lot. And again, I've been doing software development for a while, so I don't know if it's actually good for beginners. Um, yeah, like I just don't know. I'm gonna see if I missed anything up here really quick. Pay tier gets speedy write-ups. Seriously, not joking. They put the slowness in there for free. They added slowness for free. Not the oop word again. um, the why is fundamental. But yeah, so you would get different places to start when you're asking someone who has been doing software development for a while. You'll get opinionated answers versus here's some general information. And again, mine is opinionated in the sense that I really enjoy C# a lot. And I think that it's very versatile and can cover a lot of application types. A structured learning resource would help, to be honest. When I was learning MVC, the way that I learn is by doing tutorials. And so I did a tutorial by following it step by step as I was reading it. And then I tried to redo the tutorial without reading as much, but then I kept referencing back to the tutorial to see if I could remake it. And then I tried to do it again without referencing the material again until I could reproduce the tutorial without reading it. Then I moved on to how can I adjust this so that I can make it something better, something that I would want to use. So, yeah. The answer for your question about ChatGPT, whether it can teach you, Probably, depending on your learning style, depending on if you know how to ask it the right questions, but I wouldn't trust everything that it tells you. And you're right, there aren't very many comprehensive tutorials. They are all skill based. So you'll learn about this facet of web development. You'll learn about doing HTML and CSS. You'll learn about doing JavaScript. You'll learn about MVC project type in .NET, or Blazor project type in .NET, or desktop development. But yes, you're right. It's pretty modular. And that's why a good place to start is knowing what do you want to do software development for. I mean, getting the basics of object-oriented programming, understanding objects, methods, functions, variables, scope, flow statements, control, all of that stuff is good for beginning. But as you get more into it, then you want to narrow in on, I want to do web development. Here are the tools for web development. I want to do desktop development. Here are the tools for desktop. I want to do XR. Making a simple chess in Scrap, which is a language for kids. Game was my example. Yeah, and always, again, we have a Discord server that is full of amazing and wonderful, helpful people. I stream on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I am okay with answering questions as they come up. Dang it, I wanted to read this. Hellraiser said, way up here, I have someone I know that's in AI, and with all the insider knowledge of how it works, he lost motivation to go to work. He believes the singularity, the time of man merging with machine, is so fast approaching that anything he does today is essentially pointless. I'm 100% okay with that. I have an opinion on that, obviously. Thindles, oh gosh, where am I? Mojo said yes and no for the question about were you already good at math before that? And he said yes and no, but math really isn't important when it has to do with doing the C# fundamentals and learning all of that stuff. Dukasoff says logic is greater than math. Yeah, so for programming, the thing that you want to build up is your problem solving skills and your logic skills. It's not often, if you're not doing, like, even if you are a game developer, it's not often that you're doing a lot of complex math. Not until you get into you need to optimize everything and make it extremely good. I look at tutorials and then I go in over my head. This is Tyndall. Mojo said to peace and quiet. The only math the software I work on does is addition. Does ours do any math? I guess, yeah, we do time calculations, but not much. However, as I said, in college, my computer science classes started with fundamentals of algorithm design. Yes, basically understanding the logic structures that almost all languages follow. That's a great place to start. And again, covered in that video. Advanced math won't be relevant at this moment for you. Are you looking for C# specifically? No, but I want to watch this video. Yeah, so this video is great at being general enough that you'll learn object-oriented programming. So C++, C#, Java, loose object-oriented programming. Remember to have fun while learning too. Sorry, I didn't understand that course the 50 times I tried. Oh, CS50. Yeah, Coursera has a lot of really good free courses. I used some of their stuff. They have guided courses with instructors that actually present material and talk you through stuff. 99% of people failed who tried that. Oh, wow. Yeah, you are very welcome. So yes, definitely feel free to hop into our Discord. People are willing to answer questions. I'm willing to answer questions on stream. Fridays are community days where if you want to come on and talk with me via voice, then I invite people into our Discord voice channel to speak verbally. Sometimes I forget to turn on the output to the recordings, but I also record all my videos and put them on YouTube's, which I will be doing soon as I end the stream. Hellraiser says, yeah, best things to start off with are the basics. Do you know the different recursion loops, the different data/object types, ways to sort, how arrays and lists work? Yeah, and even sorting is not that important, not up front. If you're just trying to learn to code to tackle, or not to tackle, but to create like a web page, you don't necessarily need to learn the sorting algorithms themselves, because you will use language specific libraries to do that for you. Mojo said, I've done both C# fundamentals and CS50 course. I promise the CS50 course is better for learning the fundamentals. Cool. Awesome. Well, we'll be around peace and quiet. I am going to end my stream here. I will be back again on the Wednesday at the same time, 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, suddenly. So I need to get back to work. I have some emails that are waiting for me that I need to address pretty much right away. We have a release coming up soon. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Once again, there is the link for Discord. Thank you, Dukasoft. And there is the link for the YouTube channel where I will be posting this video no sooner than 24 hours after the stream ends. You can see all of our past recordings, not all of them, most of our past recordings on the YouTube channel currently. And I look forward to seeing you all again someday, sooner rather than later. Okay, that's it for me. Ciao for now. Many waves. Turning the music up. Muting the microphone.